Yeah, this is Point Blank, coming in hard and off the car, coming with the flu, straight from the barrel. They coming with that heat from the damn street. This is PBNN Point Blank National News, the later, the great edition, the ghetto edition as well, because this is what we must do at all times. You know what I'm saying? In groove with the move, as we see. We coming with the facts, crack backs, and the boom bip to the line ass lips. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what we must do. All time, baby. Now today we still see that Netanyahu is still doing genocide on the people in the Gaza Strip. You know what I'm saying? And he's also probably done that to African people as well. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't put it past any of them. You know what I mean? And we even see right over here a lot of dumb shit of Guam while we have the problems. Keeping, I guess, the pot brewing. You know what I'm saying? But we see in many ways, we see where former RNC, you know, chair predicts how, you know what I'm saying, Donald Trump, in all ways, you know what I'm saying, the GOP takeover will end in itself. You know what I'm saying? Coming in by my man Andrew Stanton on to 2324 at 12:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what I'm saying? But we see here where we have Mr. Michaels, you know what I'm saying, with his crazy self over here from the RNC, you know, making predictions on Trump as if, you know, he has all the answers. But we see Michael Steele, a former chairman of the Republican National Committee in all ways, you know what I'm saying, warns that, you know, the President Donald J. Trump takeover of the GOP will end with an implosion. You know what I'm saying? You know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Steele, uh, uh, a Trump critic, issued warning about the president himself growing influence in the Republican Party in an opinion piece published by NSNBC on Friday. hmm We capping up some of the old news as we go along. You know what I'm saying? As we go along, we capping up some of the old news. You know what I mean? In all ways. And we see where the opinion piece on Friday, Trump endorsed his daughter-in-law, Laura Trump, as well as North Carolina GOP Chair Michael Watley. You know what I'm saying? A lead Watley to lead the RNC after, you know, the New York Times reported that Chair uh, Ronna McDaniels or whatever, you know, plans to step down from her position, citing anonymous sources in itself. But Steele went on to say he warned, you know what I mean, in itself, allowing Trump to a name McDaniel, allowing Trump to name McDaniel's successor will end in an implosion about as dramatic as his failed Atlantic City casino. You know what I'm saying? Every business fails, clown. You know what I'm saying? What business you know don't fail? All businesses can fail eventually over time, even if it is a poor plan in business that you have. You know what I'm saying? And as far as any inclusion or whatever he's talking about, you know what I'm saying? His solution probably is to, you know, vote Democrat. You know what I mean? But he point to the recent remarks Laura Trump made this month during a Newsmax interview, vowing that every single penny will go to the number one and the only job of the RNC, helping Donald Trump win the presidential election in November. And as simple as that. While everybody is sitting up there talking about Trump, you know what I'm saying? What about, you know what I'm saying, if this man is saving, your country, your life, and many other things, why is he the most, criminalist all of a sudden? He more criminal than even the criminals on the street. So my question is to the people is if he's trying to save our country and save us from a nuclear war, then is it a scheme to do so or is it just the fact of, people not looking at the issues or the conflicts or the garbage that are going on in our world, country, and the global effect in itself. It seems like they're more concerned with other stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? If you fucking ask me. You know what I'm saying? Because if he's helping to save you from these things, then you should be investing in him to make sure that these things that you say is or is not should be the way it is, and that's a fact. It should not be something you deny. It should be something you embrace to make sure that what you're asking to be done in the world and as a global effect in as a whole, as we see even in the Gaza Strip and many other places, Sudan and Ethiopia and Congo and all these different wars going on in should be be focused on by every single person on the planet. Same thing go for the Ukraine war and the Russian stuff that going on. We should be looking and ending these conflicts and these threats to humanity, like as if we don't have threats already, even from the different things that they're doing to the earth, and then claiming a global warming or a global effect, which is more like they're controlling the global and the effect. You know what I'm saying? But however, electing Trump, according to Mr. Steele, he's going to say, however, electing Trump is not only the job of the RNC. So, what job is their job? And if not that, then what are you doing and what you getting paid for? Why are you there? Giving a warning, Mr. Steele warned, adding that focusing on focusing only on Trump campaign would be an, saying, a astronaut in whatever in investment. Who gives a flying fuck when we look at the whole thing all together? You know what I'm saying? When we look at the whole thing all together, here when I hear you that, you know what I'm saying? We must look at that. You know what I'm saying? We must look at that. You know what I'm saying? All together in itself. But he's saying winning the White House, you know what I'm saying? Winning the White House is always a top goal. But as said before, the RNC chair has a number of other duties he wrote. Yeah, one of them is to get this election in the bag so we can stalemate a lot of the garbage that's going on because it seems like Mr. Steele is only investing in the fact of falling behind the even Democrats, like 18 or 19 Republicans did on the package to fund the Gaza Strip war on the invader side. You know what I mean? Against innocent people who have no defense, no tanks. They probably don't even have an F-14. They don't have an aircraft carrier. They don't have literally a military at all. You know what I'm saying? They have just, a whole bunch of tyrants in itself to me. You know what I'm saying? In itself. You know what I'm saying? It's just simply that. Donald Trump events remove empty chairs, photos, and show. Let's see what's going on. You know what I mean? In the matter. You know what I'm saying? Because we're seeing a lot of garbage that's going on in itself. So we're going to capture some of this. You know what I mean? We're going to capture some of this in itself. You know what I'm saying? We're going to capture some of this in itself. In all ways, we see where um, They're talking about in this one, which is coming in by it look like Gilead or Carbon, Carbon, Carbonaro on the 2nd, 23rd, 24th at 2:25 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what I'm saying? In this matter, but we see where they're trying to put forward all the bad news that don't seem to have anything to do with none of the stuff that's worth the paper it's written on. You know what I'm saying? But we see here where hundreds of empty chairs were reportedly removed before Donald Trump's speech at the uh, convention of religious broadcast in Nashville, Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? Trump, the Republican presidential forerunner, spoke at the National Religious Broadcast, the NRB, International Christian Media, you know what I'm saying, convention on Thursday, according to, you know, whatever his name is, Jones, you know what I'm saying, a reporter for the Tennessee and former president Tennessee, and the president didn't show up until 2 hours and 40 minutes after the NRB president, presidential forum began. You know what I'm saying? In itself, you know, we don't, you can follow whatever the empty chairs they want and their Christianity, you know what I'm saying, in all ways. You know, like many say, their God is rich, so why are you poor? He have many mansions, why you don't have none? You know what I'm saying? And then they're saying you must pay tithes and offerings. So what would God need with your money? You know what I'm saying? If he have many mansions and he's rich, he should be given to you, isn't it so? You know what I mean? Talking about a lot of foolish things that people have in their head. You even see where we have one here coming in, you know what I'm saying, where they said Donald Trump surprising KKK association could spell his ultimate doing in itself. You know what I'm saying? Well, you should say the same thing about Biden because Biden is a part of the KKK in itself anyway because he's a Democrat. So what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Why are you busy talking about Donald Trump? But we see where the turnout that the inciting, it turns out that the inciting a massive insurrection can lead to some dangerous comparisons. No, it ain't gonna lead to nothing except your foolish behind in itself. You know what I'm saying? In itself. You see, there are a few historical comparisons that stings more than any other, you know, say in this situation that stings more than any other according to them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a lot of things that y'all are doing are stinging way more than this. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? More than others. And the Ku Klux Klan is easily near the top of that list. Yeah, what list? The same list Biden is connected to? You know what I'm saying? It's at the top of the list. It's the it's the rest, it's the rest right alongside, you know what I'm saying, Hitler and Mussolini as the most damning parallel that can be drawn between individuals and historical groups or figures, and Donald Trump has now seen himself associated with each in one way or another. So is creepy Biden. Don't give me that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? He's a Democrat. Who started the Democratic Party? Who started the Ku Klux Klan? You know what I'm saying? Is the question that we must ask. Even saying that Forrest Nathan Bradford was not a Democrat. Yes, he was. He was the terrorist guy that led up the terrorist group, probably. You know what I'm saying? But the comparison to Hitler have haunted the 77-year-old person. Yeah, you because you're gonna come up with all kinds of stupid shit that don't make any sense. And nobody wants to hear none of that nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Because if we're not going to look at Biden's past, calling the Ku Klux Klan and many of these extremist group heroes and so forth and so on, then what the fuck is you talking about Donald Trump for is my issue. You know what I'm saying? He could be affiliated because his father was a part of that at one time as well. It wasn't as if like Donald Trump's father and family did not have any ties to that. But Biden also the same thing. And as a matter of fact, when we even look at the school that him and Anthony Fauci and many of them graduated from, it tells a lot, doesn't it? You know what I'm saying? It tells a lot. We see a man who bought a $9,000 Trump sneaker hit back at criticism. Of course, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have skirmishes. You're gonna have skirmishes. So let's see what he talking about. You know what I mean? We see a man bought the $9,000 Donald Trump uh, sneakers, hits back at critics, or hit back at criticism. You know what I'm saying? The destroy. This comes in by Billy Shrubs Don on the second 21:24 at um, 11:32 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As far as we see in this matter. In this matter. Like I said, if the man want to sell sneakers, he could sell whatever the hell he wants to sell. What's so personal about it and so shady is what I'm trying to get at. You know what I'm saying? But we see here a man responds to those who criticize him for buying the autobiographical pair of Donald Trump, you know what I'm saying, never surrender sneakers at a auction. You know what I'm saying? We see his name is Roman, you know what I'm saying, Shaft, Shaft or whatever, you know what I'm saying, the founder and CEO of Watch dealing watch dealing luxury bazaar. You know, spent 9,000 on one of the 1,000 pair of shoes, of which 10 were autobiographic, auto, I guess, biographic or whatever, graphed by Trump. You know what I'm saying? It was signed by Trump, you know what I'm saying, autographed by Trump, I should say, you know what I'm saying, at a sneaker convention in Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying, the gold color high tops. Man, I would have liked to get me a pair of those high tops, you know what I'm saying, featuring an American flag and a metallic star on the back on the back, and a T embossed on the leather. You know what I'm saying? And in the wake of his purchase, some slammed Roman, you know, online for being a Trump supporter. And what the fuck is they doing online telling this man to be whether or not he's a Trump supporter or not because he bought the sneakers from him? Is people just fucking stupid or what? You got that time? You got time to sit here and do that bullshit? You know what I'm saying? I wish everybody could, I wish we all could buy a pair of emblem sneakers. You know what I'm saying? You know how much they probably gonna be worth later on? You clown ass son of a bitch. And fuck a supporter. You go support a fucking duck and suck his ass and get out of people's face calling him online talking about you a Trump supporter. The people who called him and told him he's a Trump supporter sound like he called him and sounded like a Biden dumbass. If you ask me, you know what I'm saying? Supporter and said they would no longer do business with him. Yeah, you crooked ass. Why would you do that? Because of his support for Trump, or he's not a supporter, just bought the sneakers. You full of shit. Like I said, and I'll say it again. If you're talking about saving your country, keeping our asses out of a nuclear war, and an individual has stepped up many times and said certain things that gave you a hint to save your own ass while you sit there sucking the balls of the demon Democrats and their Ku Klux Klan definitely creation, you know what I'm saying? And many other bullshit that you trying to throw off on Trump doesn't make any sense. It shows that you're an asshole and you're a follower and a donkey and a dupe. Let's just get it straight. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, they ain't gonna do business with him no more. The article online to him as a Russian oligarch. You know what I'm saying? And now he's he cleared up these claims. Yeah, you need to clear up these claims. They telling them kiss his ass. You know what I'm saying? That didn't help. That didn't help. You know what I'm saying? Because the corruption is deep. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We see a lot of Donald Trump faces backlash after repeating claims. You know what I'm saying? After repeating claims. You know what I mean? In many ways. He claimed the state with mail-in voting automatically have fraud. He's not lying about that. So why would you say he's lying? Let's just be honest.